Am I the asshole for telling my fiancé that I would leave our family if we got pregnant again? I 30 female told my 37 male fiancé boyfriend that I would leave him. Background: we've been together for 8 years. We have 2 kids, age 2 and 9 months. We both work full-time jobs. He works days and I work nights. We don't send our kids to daycare. Therefore, we switch off caring for our kiddos while the other is at work. There are some days when I get off work at 7 a.m. after working a 12-hour shift and then have to care for our kids during the daytime. He never has to watch them solo right after work. I have been mentally and physically exhausted. Between breastfeeding, pumping, working sometimes up to 60-hour weeks and potty training my toddler, I am cooked. There have been days where I have bawled my eyes out due to stress. We really don't have family or friends that are available to help with the kids. I do 70 of the housework: laundry, cooking, grocery shopping, bathing kiddos, sweep, mop. You get it. Our first baby was planned. I was finishing up my degree full-time while working full-time and literally gave birth a month after I graduated with my bachelor's. Our second baby was a surprise and I really struggled to bond with her, as I didn't want her initially. My thoughts have now changed and I love my baby. I have had multiple conversations with him, explaining that I don't want any more kids. It's taxing on my body, mind and spirit. Prior to having my second baby, we both agreed that if I had a C-section, I would get my tubes tied during the delivery. If I had a vaginal birth, which I did, he agreed to get a vasectomy shortly after I had my baby. This was back in October 2023. It is now July 2024 and guess who is still not snipped? I've asked him multiple times over the last couple of months and after breaking down many walls, he declared that he is nervous about his schlong not working anymore. I understand this is a true concern for him, but I have asked him to consider what I have and will go through again if we were to have a third baby. We are currently using condoms and birth control strips to track ovulation and avoiding intimacy during those risky times, but the other day, we had a malfunction with the condom and I had to take a plan B and pray. Luckily, the Red Sea came, but I can't feel this anxiety every month. It makes me not want to have Shreks if a kid is the risk. I know my limits when it comes to being a parent. I am doing my best with 2 kiddos, but 3 kiddos would send me over the edge. The other night at the dinner, vasectomy came up again and he made excuses. I told him that I wasn't gonna bring it up anymore, but I needed to say my last piece. I'm letting you know now. If I was to become pregnant again due to your lack of action to get snipped, I will leave you and the kiddos here alone. I will send money from afar, but I would have to leave. We would be done. He was shocked and hurt by my comment, but I am fucking serious. He asked, you would really leave us? And I said yes. I'm not happy to say this, but I have been depressed and had bad thoughts about harming myself and kids during those very difficult times. I have worked hard to be better and silence those thoughts, but I know that having a third kid would cause those thoughts and stress to flood back in. So, am I the asshole? Added 1. I did not expect this post to escalate in this way. Please let me make a few clarifications. 1. Concern: he has the right to choose whether or not to undergo the vasectomy. Answer: absolutely. I agree 100. The only issue I see with this is he and I agreed last year that once our second baby was born, in the event of a vaginal delivery, he would undergo the procedure. We also agreed together that 2 kids was our magic number and we both said hell no to additional kids. We have had several discussions about this, at least 10. I didn't manipulate him into this decision. He actually offered to do it. Even to this day, he says that he wants to do it and plans to do it but is concerned about performance afterward. Yet, he has made no action to make an appointment to even schedule a consult with a urologist to talk through some of the risks of the procedure. Therefore, I have to assume through his actions, which there are none, that he truly has no intention of getting the procedure done and is doing lip service every time I ask him about this. That being the case, I am going to make an appointment to take responsibility for my own body and hold myself accountable versus relying on him. 2. Concern: when do I sleep? Answer: we don't work the same days of the week. However, if I work 4 12-hour days, there will be a day or 2 that I have watch my kids when I get home from work. Therefore, I micronap throughout the day and try to get a 2-hour nap in when they go down for nap time. Otherwise, I'm sleeping on the couch while they are playing in their safe enclosed play yards in the living room. I wake up every hour to check diapers, feed them, etc. I probably get 4 hours of broken up sleep on those days. I know this isn't healthy. I am not justifying this current setup, just explaining. 3. Concern: why are you still being intimate with him? Answer: when I got cleared by my doctor to resume normal activities at my 6-week postpartum checkup, we didn't have Shreks for a while. I can't recall how long exactly as my memory is shit now due to no sleep. A couple of weeks, maybe a month after, he told me that he was sexually frustrated because we hadn't had Shreks in 2-3-ish months. Partly because I just had a baby and had no desire. And secondly, I was using the I just had a baby excuse to avoid Shreks since there was no action on vasectomy yet at that point. And I was and am still nervous about unwanted pregnancies. I felt guilty to withhold because when I had my baby, he did step up and things were better, but that was short-lived. But trust me, The frequency of Shreks is like twice, maybe thrice a month. The frequency doesn't make the overall situation better, but I'm not busting biscuits every day. 4. Concern: why aren't you on birth control? Answer: I used birth control strips for the first 5 years of our relationship. Never had to use Plan B, condoms or anything else to avoid unwanted pregnancies. The most important factor was my periods were regular and like clockwork. I could predict it down to the hour almost. However, since having both of my babies, my periods are really wonky. Therefore, I'm realizing that birth control strips are not the best as there is too much irregularity in the possible ovulation window. Condoms are too iffy for us as we have had impactions twice. I don't want to use pull-out method as that is how baby 2 got here. Not reliable. Ultimately, I'm taking everyone's advice and I'm gonna be having a doctor's appointment soon to get something solid for birth control. 5. Concern: can you limit your work hours or go part-time? Answer: an option at my job came up twice in the last 6 months for me to move to day shift, which would be better for work-life balance. In order for me to move to day shift, my fiancé would have had to ask his boss to adjust his work days to accommodate the tag-in tag-out situation that we have with childcare. He refused to even ask. I told him it's better to ask and be told no versus never ask and never know what could have been. Long story short, he never asked. I told my fiancé if he could increase his salary close to what we make together that I would be willing to be a stay-at-home mom or seek part-time work. I even asked him to just interview at a few places just to see what the pay is now for his occupation. He works in a networking sector. He refuses to because he's comfy where he works, introverted and doesn't want to go through the onboarding process at a new job. 6. Concern: mental health issues. Answer: I did communicate with him very clearly that I am depressed and that there are some days that I don't want to be here. He just hugs me and tells me to let him know whatever I need. I do let him know what I need, but he doesn't follow up. Therefore, I stop asking and just attempt to handle things on my own. I love my children and would never want to do anything to harm them. Just because I had these horrible thoughts, doesn't mean that I will act on them. Not even close. I know that I need help to get to a better place mentally, and I'm very conscious of that. Therefore, when I get very overwhelmed, I immediately take a break, even if it is 5 minutes. Overall, I need professional help. I realize that I can't handle this on my own. 7. Concern: it's irresponsible to leave your kids. Answer: I do understand that. I disclose this feeling to him to attempt to stress to him the level of desperation that I am at for some relief. I've had gentle conversations and hard conversations with him about our current family dynamic and nothing seems to stress the point to him. I feel like I've been in fight mode the whole time and now I feel like all is left is flight. If put to the test, would I honestly leave my 2 kids? No, but I feel a strong urge to. Just to get some relief. I will say that after I told him my initial statement about running away, essentially, he started bringing up the vasectomy conversation more and talking about what he learned online about it. I don't know if he feels threatened by the loss of dependency, so now he's trying to show more effort to look into it. Edit 2. I have an appointment with my doctor on Wednesday for birth control options and mental health assistance. I had to push, but I got them to book me sooner than Jan 2025. I also took the day off tomorrow to sit down and discuss several issues with my fiancé. Edit 3. I had my appointment with my doctor and explained all my issues and concerns. I had a crying session in his office and he was very understanding and receptive to my thoughts. During my 30-minute appointment, he gave the following advice and recommended that I evaluate the following aspects of my life and make corrections if needed to help with my current mindset and mild depression. 1. Sleep. Get 8 hours of sleep. He recommended that I get off night shift ASAP as it will help my sleep schedule and prevent early death due to the effects of being up all night. A day shift position opened up at my job this week and I will be pursuing it, even with the $20K pay cut. 2. Diet. He advised me to make sure that I am eating wholesome foods and limit processed foods. When you eat crap foods, it'll make you feel like crap. I eat relatively well. I meal prep twice a week and have lost 50 pounds in the last 8 months due to prioritizing protein and limiting processed carbs, so I think I'm okay on this front. 3. Exercise. He recommended that I exercise, even if it's 20 minutes a day. Even a scroll with my kids. Moving can improve my mood. I don't exercise, so I will be implementing 15 minutes a day to start. 4. He gave me 2 resources for therapy. Thankfully, it is free through my job. I'll be scheduling appointments next week. 5. I will be limiting my work hours from 60 hours a week to 36 hours a week after August so that I can rest and reset my life. 6. I have a tubal ligation permanent birth control scheduled for November, the earliest they could get me scheduled. I'm taking responsibility for my body since I definitely don't want any more babies. My fiancé finally agreed to get SNP. His appointment is in late August. I don't know if he will keep his appointment or his word. Either way, I will get my procedure in November. 7. My fiancé has agreed to step up when it comes to the home dynamic and workload at home. He has also agreed to take time off on some of the days that I would usually have to watch the girls after getting off my 12-hour shift so that I can rest. 8. We are not engaging in sexual intercourse until he has been cleared by his urologist that his semen is sperm-free. 9. Since talking to my doctor, my fiancé, some close family and friends about things going on in my life, I feel a little better and feel that I can manage better since there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is still plenty of work for me to do, but I feel motivated to survive this phase of my life now that I realize I can get help. That's all the updates I think I will make. Hopefully, other people can learn from my mistakes. Adios.